The time is 10 a.m. This is WKYT Midmorning. A man accused of murdering a 6-year-old Woodford County boy returns to court today. A judge is expected to rule whether he is competent to stand trial. Hundreds have power again after a late-night outage in part of Lexington. And a new city project could put an end to flooding in a Lexington neighborhood.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning and welcome. It's good to have you here on Wednesday, August 3rd. I'm Bill Bryant. Barbara will be with us for our noon news a little bit later on today. It's been a nice start to the day out there. We had some fog earlier. Most of that is lifted away. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, now it looks pretty good outside with a mixture of sun and clouds. We do expect that small chance of rain in the forecast, mainly during the afternoon hours, and it's mainly for eastern Kentucky. So there is a small chance, but most of that will be for eastern Kentucky at 88 degrees. It's more about the temperatures for most of us, because most of us will stay dry today. You better enjoy it while it lasts, because we're really focusing on a few more storms in the forecast the next few days. Are we talking widespread rain? Are we talking about really heavy rain? We'll get into those answers in just a few minutes.
Right, first in the news this mid-morning, a judge is expected to determine if a man accused of brutally killing a Woodford County boy is competent to stand trial. A competency hearing was scheduled for Ronald Exantis in June, but that hearing was delayed until now. Exantis is accused of breaking into a Versailles home last December and stabbing 6-year-old Logan Tipton to death. Exantis' attorney tells WKYT News there is no explanation for what happened. She says the 32-year-old was in a state hospital for months after his arrest because he had a psychotic break. Logan's mother thinks the attorney is just grasping for straws. She believes the psychiatric evaluation will prove Exantis is mentally stable. And if he is found competent, attorneys say it could be at least another year before the case goes to trial. Exantis' attorney says the accused suffered this psychotic break and remembers nothing from the time. Exantis is charged with murder, burglary, and assault. If he's found guilty of murder, Exantis could face the death penalty under Kentucky law. A man accused of murdering a northern Kentucky couple will be returning to court today. State police charged Craig Pennington with the murders of Bobby Jones and Crystal Warner in Washington County. But so far, the couple's bodies have not been found. Their families are not giving up. They're planning another search this weekend. Some good news in Lexington. The power is back on for hundreds of customers after a late-night crash put everybody in the dark. Police say a van and SUV crashed on South Broadway at Pine Street last night. That SUV then took out a power line. Police arrested the driver of the van on suspicion of drunk driving. At one point, about 600 Kentucky Utilities customers were without power. Outbound South Broadway was closed all night long. The power was restored and the road reopened just before 5:30 this morning. Police are looking for the person who broke into a Lexington business early today. It happened at Blowing Vapors on Reading Road. This is near Tates Creek Road about 1:30 this morning. Police say someone smashed the store's front window and stole a handful of items. The case against a well-known Eastern Kentucky attorney is finally going to trial. Eric Kahn, along with Judge David Daughtry and Dr. Alfred Adkins, are accused in a massive disability benefit scheme. Investigators say the three men defrauded the Social Security Administration out of millions of dollars. The three are set to stand trial next year on June 5th. People living in Lexington's Joyland neighborhood say flooding has caused all sorts of problems for them for years. But now city officials say they're making changes that will hopefully put an end to the problem. A nearly $3 million stormwater project is underway to help ease flooding in that area. City officials say the project will add storm drains, larger drainage pipes, and an underground culvert to help those who live on Cabot Drive, Kent Drive, Allen Drive, and Rogers Road. Those folks are often dealing with very high water. People living in the area say it is a project that is long overdue.
It needed to happen. It's painful to go through when we're, as all of us in the neighborhood know, but when it gets done and all finished, we feel that it will be nice and accomplish what they want to.
The city will pay for the project with money from the stormwater management fee, a fee city officials proposed during a years-long battle between the city and the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. The project is expected to be finished up in early November. Lexington police are investigating here at Mid-Morning after a man showed up at St. Joseph Hospital with a gunshot wound overnight. Police tell us the victim showed up about 12:30 this morning with a gunshot wound to the shoulder. And we're told it is a non-life-threatening injury. The man is expected to be okay. However, police say he is not being cooperative with them. It was originally believed the shooting may have occurred near Red Mile Road. Police tell us they searched that area. Nothing was found. A state trooper happened to be in the right place at the right time, and a Pulaski County father and daughter are very grateful that he was after they were trapped by high water in Pulaski County.
My car was parked out, and I came back to get it just a minute ago, and I tried to cross, and it's just too deep. There's water coming in the doors, and me and my daughter are in the vehicle right now.
The trooper got the little girl out. That was the 911 call the father made after he and his 3-year-old daughter were stuck under a bridge near Science Hill. Trooper Adam Childers just happened to be patrolling nearby. He rushed over to the scene to help.
Dad handed the daughter through the window to me, and I carried her, keeping her above the water because she was cold and panicked. I kept her above the water.
Terrific work on the trooper's part. Police say the father climbed onto the roof of the car and eventually made it to safety. Neither he nor his daughter were injured in that. Well, there's now a 15th case of locally transmitted Zika virus in South Florida. The newest case in Miami-Dade County is being reported outside Miami's Wynwood neighborhood, where the nation's first cluster of local infections was reported. Henna Daniels has the latest on what is being done to try to combat the virus.
The CDC says mosquitoes spreading the Zika virus in Miami are proving more difficult to eradicate than expected.
We're not seeing the number of mosquitoes come down as rapidly as we would have liked. That could be because they're resistant to the insecticides being used, or that they're still standing water that they're breeding in.
Experts have warned Zika could spread to other pockets of Miami-Dade County.
The way this will happen is not by the spread of mosquitoes themselves, it's by the movement of infected people. DEET should be Miami's new perfume.
The CDC is encouraging people living in areas where there are mosquitoes that can carry Zika to protect themselves by covering up and using repellent with DEET. Henna Daniels, CBS News.
In February, President Obama requested $2 billion in emergency Zika funding, but Congress left Washington for their summer break without taking any action on that. 3 months before Election Day, Donald Trump has ignited new tensions with two powerful leaders within his own party. The Republican presidential nominee is refusing to endorse House Speaker Paul Ryan or Senator John McCain in their re-election bids. Trump's statement comes amid intense fallout over his criticism of the family of the late Captain Khan, a U.S. Army soldier who died in Iraq in 2004. Final preparations for the Rio Olympics are underway. Just 2 days to go now until the opening ceremonies. The Olympic torch arrives on the shores of Rio today for the final leg of its journey before the cauldron is lit at the Maracana Stadium on Friday. Officials have been stepping up security across the city. Thousands of extra troops have been deployed for the event, but there are concerns remaining on several issues, including the country's water pollution, the Zika virus, and problems with accommodations in the athletes' village. And word coming down this hour that Michael Phelps, the most decorated athlete in Olympic history, will carry the U.S. flag during the opening ceremony. Phelps was selected in a vote by members of the U.S. Olympic team. He has won 18 golds and 22 medals overall for the United States. Hope you keep it here on Mid-Morning from WKYT. Today and all month, really, we celebrate a fruit that's particularly popular in the summertime. And the parents of a Star Trek star who died in an accident have now filed suit.
Boy, does it look good outside right now. I'll tell you this, though, we do have still a small chance in the forecast for some rain later on today, but it's not for everybody. I'm going to show you where I expect that area to pick up the best chance of rain. That's coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Now that fog has lifted and we're not seeing anything outside, it's starting to kind of mix away. Things are looking pretty good. A lot of sunshine, few clouds here and there. All in all, I'm really not seeing any problems whatsoever. So all around town, it looks just fine. We're looking across radar Defender radar and nothing going on. So that's the good news. The bad news here is you still see some showers back over toward West Virginia and Virginia. It's right along that border, and that's exactly where I expect a couple of showers later on this afternoon maybe to form in that area. So anywhere from Moorhead, go down 519 all the way into West Liberty. West Liberty to, say, McGoffin County across 460. Head off towards, say, Breathitt County, Perry County, and then back toward the east. Head back toward West Virginia and Virginia border. That's the best chance of rain. Other than that, it's just a slight chance. You're talking 20%, and that's it. So if you have any plans, stick to them. Kids are trying to, well, not trying, but they're about to get back in school here in the next few days into next week. Take advantage of these days while they last, because the next few days we could be looking at some thunderstorms. Let's talk about some events coming up, and a big event there toward the weekend is the Lake Cumberland Raft Up. This looks like pretty good, not so much great weather, but at least it's not a complete washout. A few storms there on Friday. The actual raft up comes on Saturday, so a few storms on Friday. Most are dry on Sunday. So if you're heading down there to Lake Cumberland for the raft up or just to be out there just to hang out, I'd say go. I mean, these storms will pass you. Once they pass, get back out on the water, and that's where the happy place is, out on the water, right? 87 degrees there on Saturday for the raft up. Starts at 10 a.m. Looks pretty good at Conley Bottom Resort there and Lake Cumberland. So I'm not seeing much of a major issue, but I do see at least a few storms rolling during that time. So just keep in mind, even if you're getting out on the water, you might have to dodge a few storms, might have to get out of the water for just a period of time. Off towards your Sunday into next week, it's much, much drier. It looks pretty good. Actually feels quite nice in the mid-80s. And so we are going to be seeing some heat. It's mid to upper 80s, and it's close to average. It's a little bit above average, but nonetheless, the next few days, it's all eyes on those storms. Because as we were talking about earlier this morning, that it's not so much these are thunderstorms that are moving in the next few days that are just huge rainmakers. They're not like that, but you don't need huge rainmakers when you have the ground. You're still walking outside in your grass, and it's
squishy.
Still squishy, yeah. So anything that falls, it could cause a few problems.
All right. Well, some folks are enjoying summer, you know, despite some of those showers. That's and another way you can do that, watermelon, of course, today. Happy National Watermelon Day to you. In fact, August is peak month for growing watermelon. Florida, Georgia, and California, the biggest watermelon producers in the U.S. Worldwide, it's China, producing more than 70 million tons of watermelon per year. Watermelon's main benefit is that it's about 92% water, making it especially refreshing and hydrating as a summertime snack. And it also provides some of your daily recommended vitamins as well. So happy Watermelon Day to you out there. A new host for the Golden Globes, and there is legal fallout from the freak accident that killed a young actor. Don Champion has those stories and more in your Eye on Entertainment.
The parents of Star Trek actor Anton Yelchin filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Fiat Chrysler. The 27-year-old was killed in June when his Jeep Grand Cherokee rolled down his driveway and crushed him against a gate. The Yelchin suit says the gear selector had been defective and poorly designed. Kesha has dropped her sexual abuse lawsuit against producer Dr. Luke in California. The pop star says she needs to focus on getting her new music out, but she'll continue a similar legal battle in New York. Jimmy Fallon is going Hollywood. The Tonight Show star will host the Golden Globes for the first time next year. He joked on Twitter that he's looking forward to spending time with the foreign press before Donald Trump has them all deported.
I want to build a team of some very bad people who I think can do some good.
Viola Davis says she's always loved DC Comics, so she jumped at the chance to star in Suicide Squad.
Go get it, girl.
Davis plays a federal agent who unlocks a team of supervillains for a top-secret mission. She says her character is brutal, but not bad.
I think that she taps into the strengths of all of these anti-heroes, and she forces them to use their powers for the good.
Suicide Squad opens Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Don Champion, CBS News.
All right, we hope you keep it right here. The rhinestones are flashing this way right now. A Wilmore boy will show his inner Elvis as he heads to Memphis for a big singing competition to honor the king. Little E is in the house. Stay with us for that on WKYT. And tonight's Powerball is $40 million. And Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mid-Morning on WKYT. A 10-year-old Wilmore boy is heading south to Memphis. Jonathan Rader will transform into Little Elvis and belt out tunes from the King in a prominent singing competition. We're very happy to have Jonathan Little E here with us this morning. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You're all fancied up there, ready to go, huh?
Yeah.
How long have you been singing?
Well, I started singing when I was 2, but I've been doing Elvis for about 2 or 3 years.
What do you like about doing Elvis?
Well, just getting up there, the suits, obviously, singing all the Elvis songs, and, well, I like making the audience happy, so that's what I do.
What got you interested in Elvis? Why did you think he was somebody that you'd like to portray?
Well, I started studying him by reading some books and listening to some of his CDs and watching DVDs and stuff. And I just kind of, like, me and my dad went to Nashville, Tennessee, and we saw this Elvis tribute artist by the name of John Beardsley. And so about the second song, he sang Hound Dog, and I looked over to Dad, and I'm like, I don't want to do bluegrass anymore. I'm doing that.
So Hound Dog hooked you, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, what about these flashy costumes you wear? That's really something.
Yeah. The lovely place in Indiana called B&K Enterprises, they make all of the Elvis jumpsuits, and Bill Ballou, who is actually the B part, he made some of Elvis's suits for Elvis, and they make some rings and stuff, and but they make kids and all kinds of different sizes and stuff.
You're flashy. You like the flash, huh?
Yeah, I like the flash.
Now tell us about this competition. It'll be several days you'll be there singing, right?
Yeah, it's going to be about an 8-day competition. It's in Memphis. On Beale Street at the New Daisy Theater. It's the competition's actually called Images of the King. So they take the youth division, and that's what I'm going to be in. And if I make it there, then they might move me up to the non-professional division. And if I win if I get the highest in the youth and win, I could have the potential to winning up to maybe $1,500.
Oh, it's pretty good. Have you thought about what you might do with that money?
Well, I don't know, maybe buy another suit, do something.
Another Elvis look, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, coming up here a little bit later, we're going to hear you sing. You're going to do that for us before we go. Thanks for coming. Good luck, by the way, down there in Memphis, all right?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Little E, everybody, in with us today here on Mid-Morning, and we appreciate him coming in. And we hope you'll keep it here. In just a moment, we'll check in with a Mr. Food Test Kitchen. That's coming up next, and some Elvis music before we go. Welcome back. By the way, Elvis just got surrounded by some lovely ladies. You can check that out on WKYT's Facebook page. From the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, loaded layered hash browns. They have everything you could possibly want packed into every bite.
If you love potatoes, I mean really love potatoes, then you need to stop whatever you're doing and check out our loaded hash browns. They're easy to make, packed with flavor, and they're a far cry from your everyday side dish. All we do is combine a bag of shredded hash browns with some scallions, salt, and pepper. About half of this goes into a large skillet that we've preheated and drizzled with vegetable oil. We press this down with a spatula. This way, it'll cook evenly. A bit of shredded cheddar cheese goes over that, along with some crumbled bacon, and then the rest of our potatoes. After the bottom gets crispy, place a plate on top of that and carefully flip it over before sliding it back into the skillet. When both sides are golden, we top it with more cheese and bacon, cut it into wedges, and we're good to go. It's everything we love about hash browns with the added goodness of a loaded baked potato. The recipe for our loaded layered hash browns is online now, so you can make it for your potato lovers. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a crispy, cheesy, bacony way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Listen,
looks good.
This kid's over here with 5 beautiful women
I know.
hanging all over him, wanting to take pictures with him.
Newsroom is emptied out.
I mean,
right?
seriously, I got to take tips from this kid, man. All right, let's check out the forecast, see what's going on. And we're at a small chance of rain the rest of the afternoon. Best chance of rain, best chance is going to be east of I-75. You go the farther you go toward the West Virginia border, that's the best opportunity to pick up some rain today. And so most of us say dry, temperatures right around 88. Now Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's going to be a different story. We have some events going on. Heads up for some storms during that time.
All right. Well, a few minutes ago, you met 10-year-old Jonathan Rader of Wilmore. He'll be competing in Memphis as Little Elvis. Coming up at noon, you'll see him perform. Here's a quick sample as we leave you here at Mid-Morning. The news always on at WKYT.com. See you at noon and take it away.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show. Need to get ready now. Go, cat, go. But don't step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Well, you can knock me down, step on my face, planting my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do, but honey, lay off of my shoes. Now don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Let's go, cat, go. Now we're rocking. Well, you burn my house, steal my car, drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. Do anything that you